Hello, welcome to the TimeScape EDM Plus series of videos. My name's Mark, and today we're going to look at the second Microsoft Power BI example, which is the analysis of a portfolio of multi-asset trades. So we've already signed into Microsoft Power BI Online, and this analysis we're looking at how a 130 trade multi-asset portfolio is broken down in terms of counterparty, country, and we're also looking at some risk statistics for that portfolio. So in the first case, we're looking at the present value of the portfolio and how that is broken down by country, by counterparty, and by the type of asset of those trades. So on the map, we can actually see how the present value is distributed by country. On the right hand side, we can see the total present value of the trades for each country, and at the bottom we can see how the trades are distributed for the counterparty and the type of asset. If we just filter on equity option European, then we can see how those are distributed for the counterparties. Similarly, if I click on the USA, then we can see how those trades for that country are distributed by asset class and also by counterparty. In the second example, we're breaking our portfolio of trades down by three different measures. The first one is the type of asset, in terms of how many trades in that portfolio are of that asset type. The second, how many of those trades are attributed to each counterparty. And thirdly, how many of those trades are attributed to each country. And if we click on the United States, then it basically filters all those measures by that particular country, so we can see how many of those trades for each type of asset and also for each counterparty are actually associated with the USA. And the three tables at the bottom show us the number of trades when we apply the various filters. In the third example, we're looking at the historic value of our portfolio, in this case just the last 5 days, and we can see how that total value of that portfolio is broken down by each counterparty on a particular given day. Obviously, under normal circumstances, you may have more history, or we might want to do different measures such as country, counterparty, asset type, whatever. In this example, we're actually looking at a specific type of asset, in this case interest rate generic swaps, and what we're able to do is drill down into each trade and look at the risk statistics that are calculated for each component asset that was actually used to value that trade. So it might be things like cash rates, FRAs, swap rates, so you can see the contribution that each of those assets made to the total hedge value for that particular type of trade. So if we look at Japan, we can see how for the interest rate generic swaps, how much leg 1 PV was, leg 2 hedge, leg 2 PV, swap PV and swap hedge. So we can see those risk statistics in terms of how much money was involved. We can actually see the types of currency for each trade, and then going down further we can actually see the risk values for the actual trades themselves, and finally we can actually see the risk values for each of the individual instruments that actually form that trade. And finally we can look at some European equity options where we're looking at the present value, the delta, the gamma and the Vega, in this case just for two currencies, GBP and USD. But if we click on GBP, for example, we can see with the pie chart on the right how the number of trades has been broken down by the expiry of each of those options. And as in the previous case, we can actually drill into the counterparty, look at the year that those option deals expire, and then we can look at the type, whether it's a call or a put. We can then look at the underlying ticker associated with those options. So what have we seen? To summarise, we've looked at the portfolio value by country and by asset type. We've looked at the portfolio broken down by asset class, country and counterparty. We've looked at the value of the portfolio over time, broken down by counterparty. We've looked at the risk statistics for interest rate generic swaps, and we've looked at other asset types, in this case equity options, which are European. Thank you for your time.